using tokenization at asset level has the ability potentially to seriously remove the dilution at PLC level. So you could end up with successful projects delivered without destroying the capital structure at the PLC level.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me are Valerium Head of Global Markets, Adrian Hogg, and First Class Metals Chairman, James Knowles. Adrian, James, very good to speak with you. I'll start with you, Adrian. This has been described as a collaboration that's pivotal for both mining and blockchain. What's the timeline for moving this from the MOU stage to a live token offering, and what milestones should investors expect next?
Well, yeah, thank you. There's a number of matters that we need to address for bringing a product to market. We need to remember the fundamentals of a market. We're a licensed and regulated marketplace. We have to adopt any product in accordance with the protocol and the required regulatory standards. But there's also the aspect of the pure sell side and buy side aspects to any product that comes to market. So the sell side is First Class Metals, and the buy side. So our job is to obtain the buy side to then match against that. In terms of the regulatory process, there's prospectus that needs to be drafted and a number of regulatory filings, which we would go through the regulatory process. I would expect the entire process would take at least in the region of 60 days to bring from product to market. So there's a lot of work to be done in the background, but yeah, that's what we do. We're experts at that, and we would hold First Class Metals' hands, and we take them all the way through the process from the MOU now all the way through to the product coming to market.
James, you've said this is a bold approach to unlocking value while preserving shareholder equity. How do you see tokenization reducing dilution risk compared to traditional placings or farm outs?
Ultimately, the exploration industry funds its projects through equity dilution at PLC level. First Class has got several projects, all in Ontario, with exciting potential. But to bring that potential to its true value, you do need to expand the substantial amounts of capital upon them. Using tokenization at asset level has the ability potentially to seriously remove the dilution at PLC level. So you could end up with successful projects delivered without destroying the capital structure at the PLC level.
And which of your Canadian projects are under consideration to be the first candidates for tokenization? What criteria will you use to select them?
That process is still underway, but the criteria has got to be a project that's had some amount of work to de-risk it, so it's attractive for the potential token holders, and has got ultimate size and scale to deliver a project that could give the returns the token holders would wish for at the end of the process.
Adrian, tokenization of real-world assets is projected to be a $16 trillion market by 2030. What makes mineral exploration, which is an early-stage, high-risk sector, a compelling first application versus other industries?
Well, we provide service to a full scope of projects. We deal with real estate projects through hospitality, sports, and others. And this is one of our aspects that we look at in terms of providing service to. Actually, in terms of the mining sector, mining and exploration, we have already engaged with and spoke with other counterparts. We've spoken with another Canadian counterpart mining in Central America. And also we have interest from counterparts in South America as well, in Paraguay, Bolivia and Peru. And this fits very well into our portfolio mix. We are based and regulated and licensed in El Salvador. Americas is our current focus. We are a global entity. So looking at this Canadian aspect here, First Class Metals is perfect from our product mix. But from a point of view of the business itself, exploration has a very high potential of return. So that's something that's very attractive from tokenization point of view. But from our point of view, from the venue as well, there's an additional attractive aspect to it, because following the exploration is mining. So if we tokenize the exploration, then we get to tokenize the mining potentially as well. So we get the full life cycle, taking it from exploration all the way through to extraction from the ground. So we're particularly interested in it. We're particularly interested in working with First Class Metals in this regard, and starting the journey with that exploration for our token counterparts, and then taking it all the way through to mining at the end would be the objective with the project. So something that we're extremely interested in, we think our market is interested in as well.
James, this is still a novel financing route in mining. What gives you confidence that there'll be sufficient investor appetite for asset-based tokens tied to exploration stage projects?
That's a good question. And I'd like to think the digital world is kind of more new money, potentially, to what the traditional route of funding a company like ours is through equity placements. That new money potentially is looking for a different type of asset to actually have a real world security behind it, which is the exploration project, which delivers returns of multiple times if successful. I think that the people who are investing into the token world are possibly, shall we say, a bit more risk on than what traditional equity investors are. So not won't be the case across all digital token investors, but I think there's a place for a product that potentially, shall we say, slightly more risk than others, but with the backup that that risk can give substantial returns. So we think there's a place for the product in the marketplace.
Well, gents, I hope you'll keep us posted on progress with the collaboration. Thank you very much for taking us through it today.
No, thanks, Stephen. Appreciate your time.
That's Valerium Head of Global Markets, Adrian Hogg, and First Class Metals Chairman, James Knowles.